My husband makes mean jokes and I want to help him stop before we have children. Original post, January 7th, 2022. I, 31 female, have been with my husband, 40s male, for 10 years. Now married. I always knew I wanted to have kids only after I was married. And now that we finally are, I've allowed myself to start thinking more in depth about it. And I had an inconvenient realization. I cannot bring a child in this situation without seeing change in his behavior. Okay, I don't mean to like blame OP, but I think the time to think about that is before you get married to them. You're telling me you waited until you were legally tied to this person to be like, actually, he might not be a good father of my children. 21 and 31 is no bueno. Oh, I did not even realize that. Thank you for pointing that out. Jalera, I hope I didn't butcher that. That's a good point. That's really fucked up. While he has this one bad habit, our relationship is not inherently verbally abusive. So I'm having trouble finding resources and stories from others who have been in similar situations. The good, he is a great provider. He would be a very fun dad. He is very generous and supportive. I love him. He loves me. The bad. Notice how the bad paragraph is a lot longer than the good paragraph. The bad. He makes jokes that are hurtful and make me feel a fundamental lack of respect. I'm fine, but when I imagine me as a child growing up with a father like him, I just can't even fathom how broken I would be. I know I need to address this before having kids. We have had conversations about this in the past, and it's just who he is, not aimed only at me, and I am a very sensitive person. The problem, how can I have a conversation about this with him? I'm not perfect, so why is it okay for me to point out his flaws? Is there a playbook here? A guide? I just can't stand feeling like I'm issuing an ultimatum or holding him hostage. And I feel so awful that I didn't have the insight or personal awareness to address this before we got married. I'm struggling to frame this in a way that's like us as a team against this issue. Something that's supportive instead of me attacking him. How do I address this? Okay, so there is just a little bit of an edit here that adds information based off what people are saying in the comments. Not trying for kids, not off birth control. He barely touches me anyways. Under no circumstances would I bring a child into this situation currently. Okay, so I have a bad feeling about what kinds of jokes he's making because OP did not specify, but I feel like I really want to know what the jokes are because I need to have an idea of like, how detrimental is this? You know, are we talking like, I hope they never see this. I have a friend who I don't really talk to anymore because of some falling out that has to do with like how they've treated other friends, and specifically like how that started happening when they got with their partner who treats them like a piece of shit and makes hurtful jokes that are just like, in my opinion, unacceptable. Like, don't get me wrong. We literally talked about this before stream. Like, I enjoy somebody who like bullies me, but like fun, flirty, playful bullying. Something that's just like a little tiny jab, never goes too far. You always know they're kidding. I'm just imagining what OP is talking about is very similar to like what my ex-friend's partner would say about her. It was unacceptable. It was so unbelievably unacceptable. To me, girl, you can't go into a relationship expecting somebody to change. What OP did was she fell in love with the potential of somebody without actually falling in love with the person that they actually are, which is fucking dangerous. Oh yeah, he'd be a great dad if he didn't borderline verbally abuse me and probably the child that I'm gonna bring into the world. Like, he's 41 years old. Do you really think he's gonna change his ways now? After 41 years of existence on this planet, he's all of a sudden gonna change how he jokes around about people and his family? Like, I don't mean to blame her by any means, because like, he shouldn't be doing that, but I'm more kind of just bringing this up as like, hey, when we're getting into relationships, guys, let's make sure that we've evaluated these kinds of things before we put a ring on it, because now she's kind of in a pickle. Don't get me wrong, she can always leave him, but it's way more complicated when you're married. Also, it sounds like she really wants kids, and like, let's be realistic, she's 31. It's getting a little bit close to the age where it's a little bit dangerous for women to have kids or even can have kids. Yeah, OP is quite in the pickle. Let's go to the relevant comments here because I think we get a little bit more information. In response to a request for examples of the jokes, OP said, I'm having trouble finding examples because they just really aren't jokes. He only calls them that because he thinks they're funny. You're eating like a fat girl. Just joking, and he didn't call me fat. So I can't justify getting upset. In parentheses, laughing when I ask how I look in a new top. It was funny because I had bad posture when I asked him. He wasn't laughing at me. Just the situation of me trying to be cute, but asking with poor posture and in an unconfident tone. You're going to tear the house down. Context was, I'm opening a cabinet and he wanted to point out with a funny comment / joke that I was being too heavy-handed. It was after I had spent days cleaning the house for his mother to visit and I was very stressed. It upset me because I felt like I couldn't do a single thing without criticism. I cried and he got upset that I reacted in that way. I'll take people who shouldn't be fathers for 500, please. Cause holy fuck, yeah, what you have a kid? He is going to traumatize that kid. Yeah, dude, those aren't even jokes. That's bullying. In response to someone telling OP she didn't have to continue to put up with the cruel comments and that her not saying anything in the past was not an excuse for her husband to continue. I mean, it kind of is though, isn't it? If I didn't do a good enough job of identifying it as an issue and putting a stop to it when it first started happening, what right do I have to demand change now that we're married? It feels like a bait and switch. I hate the idea of being a demanding wife. I don't know who needs to hear this, but like you and your wants in a relationship are important no matter if you came to the realization that they were important at the beginning of your relationship or 8 years down the line in your relationship. It doesn't matter. It's not a bait and switch. It's a you finally snapped out of La La Land, I guess. Listen, would it have been cooler and probably better for your mental health if you had recognized it earlier? Yeah, but hey, better late than never. You know, it's sad because I know there's a lot of people who think like this when they're in relationships and like, bro, I don't know who needs to hear it, but what you want and how you feel in a relationship is important whether you think that it's crazy or not. And most of the time it's probably not. It's perfectly fine to express how you feel in a relationship. And like, if for some reason they don't fuck with it, go to therapy to figure out if your demand, quote unquote, is reasonable. But most of the time, especially from women, when I hear this come out of their mouth, it's like the most bare minimum shit that should be a basic want or need in the relationship. It's so sad. I just want to figure out how to help him see it as an issue so we can both work together to change our behaviors into something that would be a supportive, loving environment for kids to grow up in. I feel like I haven't done my part either. I need to own that. It just isn't who I am and he loves me for that. I'm not demanding or high maintenance. I think it's less about advocating for myself and more just it feels unfair for me to ask for this. Nothing has changed since we got married. The only thing that has changed was my perception of something that has been a constant in our relationship. It feels like an unfair demand. I just want to make it a us against this issue instead of a me against you or you must do XYZ before ABC. That feels low. We're a team. I just want to make sure I'm communicating it in the right way. Here's the thing. If he was a great husband, he would look at it as a us against this issue situation rather than me against you. And I know you guys are a team, but it sounds like your teammate is a pretty fucking shitty teammate. So like if you have a bad teammate, they're not going to look at the issue in a way that's productive to the team. I think she's just like overly taking responsibility for something that she shouldn't take responsibility for. And someone needs to like step in, shake her and be like, you married the wrong fucking guy. But I still want to be the cool, strong, supportive wife. I just feel like I messed up here. If this was truly a big issue, I wouldn't have married him. I did. We're here now. And even though I didn't see it at first, I do now. I want to help us both be the best we can be. I'm here and I need to help us both work through this or learn to live with it like I have been. I want kids, but if this can't be the right environment for them, then it's not meant to be. Edit to add, fuck, I just don't know anymore. Can't believe I wrote that kids could be out of the picture. I'm really struggling to understand all of this. Thanks for your kind words. I mean, listen, I'm pro confront him. I wouldn't even phrase it as like an ultimatum by any means, but I would tell him, hey, so I've been thinking about having kids with you. And after evaluating how you treat me, I've identified a problem that I'm actually not even okay with. But in order for me to want to bring a child in the world with you, I would want you to fix this so that it doesn't project onto our child. I think that's a very fair thing to bring up to your partner. I fucking severely severely doubt he's going to take that well. I don't think he's going to respond well to it. I don't think he's going to make changes. Even if he promises changes, I don't think he's going to follow through with it. This sounds like Stockholm Syndrome to the absolute max. It kind of does. Like, dude, this guy fucking sucks. Why are we giving him the time of day? I don't think he's going to stop the behavior, you guys. A big part of the reason he's probably with this girl is because she puts up with this. So, like, if she goes up to him and is like, hey, I don't like the way that you treat me, even though you've gotten used to treating me this way, he's not going to put up with it. And I think a lot of you guys are saying, like, he's just going to turn it on her. She's going to go up to him, be like, I have a problem. He's going to be like, you're such a shitty person for that. Alrighty, guys. So we have an update, relevant comments, a second update, and then new updates. Oh, and then another new update. Okay, all right. Update 1 is titled, okay, so he's verbally abusive. What now? Posted on January 7th, 2022 on the same post. Posted on this advice sub, and I'm realizing it's a bigger issue than I thought. So what now? I'm having a really hard time digesting all of this. I read, why does he do that yesterday? Couldn't put it down. And while I see some things that my partner does, it's not many, and it's honestly not often. It really boils down to making mean jokes and unsolicited advice/critiques. That's all. And not all the time. I've been thinking it over for 3 days, and he hasn't said anything bad in that time. When he does it, it just sticks out in my mind because it's hurtful. Okay, so I'm guessing she edited the post 3 days later. Here's what I think I need help understanding. Is it possible that this isn't intentional? He learned these behaviors from his mother and has low emotional intelligence. I know that he truly loves me. I can't understand how he could do this on purpose. How is he such a truly great, supportive, kind partner in other ways? Does that outweigh his faults? He is such a great provider. He is supportive of my career and pays all of our expenses, which allows me to work doing what I love. This is a big sacrifice for him and something he did very intentionally for me. How could someone do that to someone they want to hurt? What if it really truly is me? I am sensitive and insecure. I do make things that are benign about me when I'm feeling down. I know these things are true. Couldn't it be a combination of an awful, outdated, unfunny sense of humor and me being hypersensitive to criticism? I think we both share fault here. I don't know. I don't really know enough about verbal abuse to know if, like, maybe he is doing this unintentionally and this is just the behavior that he's learned from his family members. I think my gut is telling me that it's worth confronting him about it and just being like, hey, this is something I noticed and, like, have read up on, and I think before we have kids, we need to address this problem. And if you are open to it, I'd like to do counseling/therapy, both couples and individual, and see how he reacts. But I don't know. Maybe this is just my inner man hater, but I'm just having a feeling that this is, like, intentional. It's not like, oh, I have no idea what I'm doing. I think people who do this to this level do know what they're doing, and they do it intentionally, and they purposely seek out people who they can manipulate via these tactics. Even if he doesn't know what he's doing, he needs a wake-up call, and that's the best case scenario. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just a question now of how he's going to react to the wake-up call. Let's do some relevant comments here. In response to someone saying OOP shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around her husband, OP said, oh geez, I offhandedly said that to him just the other day, that I walk on eggshells around him, in parentheses, more related to other issues than the one here, but still, and he flipped it around completely on me. Said that it's the opposite, and he has to do that for me because of my unpredictable emotional response to things, and that I ruin the mood all the time. I think you guys are cooking with all the Darvo shit you've been saying. Like, perfect example of flipping the script and then making them feel bad. In response to someone asking about whether she and her husband still have a physical relationship, OOP replied to a comment saying, he barely touches me anyway, stood out to me. Why doesn't he? What's going on? OOP said to that, ha, that's a whole other can of worms. Wish I knew. He's just not interested in me sexually. It was normal at first, less frequent over time, and somewhere in the first few years the jab started. Poking fun at things I say or do in bed, how I move, what I'm wearing, what I want. He really made me think it was me. But I'm not unattractive. I know that. Just for some reason, nothing about me is quite good enough for him. Why did he even marry me if I'm such a disappointment? Anyway, I got on birth control early on and it's killed my sex drive, so I don't feel as rejected all the time. That helps. Girl, why are we here? What the fuck are we doing? Another commenter said, I think maybe you need to ask yourself some questions like, are you happy with this person? Is it worth having them around? Does the bad outweigh the good? Or is it the other way around? OOP replied, parts of both. I love him. I don't feel like I can justify leaving him. Unfunny jokes, infrequent sex. I don't know. It doesn't feel like enough. I'm just beating myself up for not realizing this until now. Okay, but that's just like a very simplified synopsis of what you're actually experiencing. Like the unfunny jokes are him putting you down and gaslighting you to think that when you feel bad about him putting you down, it's you that's the problem and not him. And the infrequent sex also putting you down and making you feel bad, even though you have nothing to feel bad about. Unfunny jokes and infrequent sex doesn't show the whole picture, and it really like minimizes what OP is actually going through. In response to a comment encouraging her to analyze her husband's behavior for signs of intentional manipulation, OP replied, I'm trying to do the same thing. It all came into focus the other day. He said he was scared I would find someone better and leave him. In that second, things started to make sense. I don't want to admit it because it's so painful, but I think he does do it at least partially on purpose. It worked so well too. I believed everything you said for so long. Y'all, I feel like these relevant comments were like OOP like kind of crawling out of the hole, but then letting go. You know what? Yeah, he is doing something really, really bad. Oh, but like it's so small and minute. It's just unfunny jokes and infrequent sex. Like she's almost there. So fucking close. Ooh, literally negging like he's in elementary school. He is kind of negging her. Oh my God. I wonder if he's like cheating on her. Deadly doll, I low-key think he is. I definitely think that's kind of where this is going. Like this doesn't come off to me as a guy who would be okay not having sex with his wife, even if there's like a good reason for it. Like this is the type of guy to justify, oh, I can cheat on my wife because she's not having frequent sex with me. Yeah, let's keep going, guys. I'm very curious where this is going. We have like a bunch of fucking updates. We have update 2 from January 12th, 2022, 5 days later. Okay, I talked to my therapist, in parentheses, who I was seeing because husband had me believing I had emotional regulation and communication problems. Came armed with research and concrete examples of his manipulative, controlling, and demeaning patterns. She was supportive but firm. Recommended I reach out to my local DV organization to help me work out a safe exit plan and get legal aid regarding the divorce. She said sooner rather than later, and I trust her. But no, not the butt, girl, not the butt. You're so close. Please don't fall down the hole again. I am stunned. I feel like my whole entire world is upside down. I keep flipping back and forth between thank God other people can see this too. I'm not crazy and it is that bad. And he's my best friend. I'm heartbroken and he's the only one there for me. He needs me and I could never leave him. I know I should leave, but I don't know what to do. I just want to talk to him and work it out. And this will all be just one big misunderstanding, right? I'm heartbroken. I can't have kids here, but if I leave, I'll be alone and also probably won't have kids. And I'll be broken and ashamed. All those conversations. He's going to want me back or want an explanation. I really think that's what I'm hung up on most. He has so little emotional awareness that I know he won't have any idea what I'm talking about. I know he'll think I'm crazy. I want him to know what he's done, but he's just not going to. He might not ever understand. We're so happy so much of the time, I don't know if I can do this. Anyways, hi, worst update, but you were all right. We're so happy so much of the time, but I don't know about this. We're so happy so much of the time, I doubt that. Like, I just don't think you can be happy. I think you can be like complacent in like how you are living your life. I don't think you're happy. There's no way you're happy. Like just the fact that you had to make this post to try to identify what the fuck is going on in your marriage makes me think you're not actually that happy. I do think people confuse happiness with like not being alone. That's why you meet those people who like they cannot stay single. They're always in a relationship because they equate being happy with being in a relationship. For anyone in a similar situation, Lundy Bancroft's "Why Does He Do That?" was very eye-opening and described him in ways I couldn't articulate on my own. He fits the profile of the water torturer perfectly. Additionally, very, very helpful these past few days. The hotline looks like I can't link, but you can search. They have a text or chat service. And for anyone out there like me, it's not just emotional/verbal abuse, it's abuse. And they are there to help and support. I spent a few hours over a few days just talking through things with people who really understood, and it was exactly what I needed. Please reach out if it's something you need. You know what's something that she hasn't really said in this entire story is like, does she have any friends that she can talk to? Like, I wonder if this dude is isolating her, because isn't this something you would go to a friend? I mean, I really hope that she does the right thing and at least confronts it, if not leaves him. I think when you're married to someone, you should confront when there's a issue in your marriage. Yes. I think my mind is set on like, I have zero expectation that he's going to react positively to this, so she should just leave. So all of these updates that we're about to read are labeled new updates. The first one is titled, I'm just exhausted. How am I supposed to get through this? It's from January 22nd, 2022, 10 days after the update 2 that we just got and 15 days from the original post. Very recently realized that my 10-year-long relationship is not healthy. No need to go into details because the profile of a water torturer from Lundy Bancroft's Why Would He Do That fits him like a glove. Cruel, cunning remarks disguised as jokes or helpful comments. Constant criticism. That man could Darvo the pants off of Trump. If I take a step back, it's impressive. All in all, it's taken me completely by surprise. In the last few weeks, I found out that I'm not the source of all our relationship troubles. I'm not a complete fuck up of a wife, and none of this is normal. It's a mind fuck. Now I'm biding time. I have an exit plan, but I'm saving for the next few months before I execute it. It's been about a week. I'm fucking exhausted. All of that energy I used to spend twisting myself into exactly who I knew he wanted, regulating my reactions, hiding me. It is not enough. Not nearly enough. Now that I see this shit in every interaction and spend my time cycling through rage and shame and excitement and mourning, I'm spent. Y'all, I have no idea how I'm going to get through the next few months. I'm so excited to start living again, but fuck. And this was posted in r/justnosignificantother, a place to post about your significant other who is just the worst. Damn, I feel like if you have to make a post in here, divorce, breakup, castrate, like what this sub existing is crazy, because like we just leave. Okay, this one sounds a little bit more crazy, titled Threatening Joke. Is it enough for police? Posted on February 7th, 2022, 18 days after the post that we just read and like a good month since the original post. Brief background. My husband's verbal abuse and coercive control have increased over the past decade. I've recently realized the state of this marriage and I'm planning my exit. As I become more aware of his behaviors and can see things more clearly, it has become harder to maintain my good wife attitude. I'm standing up for myself more. I'm growing concerned about my safety, but not sure if the incident today is enough to involve police. He has never been physically violent. The incident today, after I had upset him by standing up for myself in a conversation, he talked for at least a full minute about how he would kill me as a joke. He said roughly that, in parentheses, because I was speaking this way to him lately, he would kill me in my sleep. It would be easy because I'm such a sound sleeper. Then went back and said, I'm surprisingly strong when I'm asleep. I toss and turn, and that it might give me an advantage. More talk about how easy it would be. Then the part that bothered me the most. These are words from the husband in quotations. No, if I'm going to go to all the trouble of killing you, I'd strangle you while you're awake. I'd want to see the light leave your eyes. I'd have to get something good out of it. We fucking woo, get out of there. What? My fuck the police brain is going straight to, there's no way that her calling the police about this is actually going to do anything, right? The police are just gonna be like, oh, well, until he tries to kill you, we can't do anything. I guarantee, is that the case, chat? I actually genuinely don't know, but that's where my brain is going. Okay, yeah, you guys are all saying that calling the police wouldn't do shit. Girl, you gotta leave. You gotta leave. That's some fucking crazy shit, bro. Harmony, I like what you said. Record conversations discreetly, gather evidence. A paper trail is how you get them. No, for real. That is definitely a conversation you record. Oh my God. The fact that it was fairly specific and in direct response to me upsetting him has me concerned for my safety between now and leaving, especially if he finds out or grows suspicious. My gut says it might be worth involving the police and moving up my exit timeline. My concerns and questions. Is what he said legally considered a threat? Is it actionable considering that this is just based on my word? What would likely happen if I did choose to report this? Is there any way for me to report this without his knowledge? There is one relevant comment and it says, move up your exit date to now. Involving police at this very moment will get him an advantage on you and could anger him more. Get your important documents out of there ASAP and move your funds from your joint account to an account he doesn't have access to. I would also suggest saving your photos from your phone somewhere and doing a hard reset on your phone to ensure he doesn't have phone tracking or that he doesn't have remote access to your phone. Change passwords everywhere, but get out now. Bro is cooking. OOP replied to that saying, thank you, I appreciate the concern and advice. Working on putting together a go bag now with important documents and things I'll need. I'm on high alert and moving up my exit date to, okay, not now, but specifically sooner than I was planning. You guys are affirming, like, I don't think police are gonna do or will do jack shit. I think it literally would just put her in a more dangerous situation. You guys, let's go on to the last update because the title does say Little Happy Update. Posted October 6th, 2022, 9 months since the original post. Hi, I'm not sure if anyone will see this, but I had such an outpouring of support over a whole bunch of subreddits, so I thought this might be the best way to give an update. First, thank you. Thank you all. Everyone who reached out with support, everyone who shared their stories, everyone who pushed back and gave me the opportunity to form my own viewpoints and advocate for myself. Without the reality check that came from my posts, I'm sure I would have been stuck in this for much longer than I was already. The update. I'm out. It was a long process, it wasn't linear, and there was so much self-doubt along the way. But I wanted to share the moment that it finally stuck. We've been going back and forth with the divorce. He's doing all the things. He's being the best version of himself. He's improving. Lots more details that ultimately aren't important. But he kept asking, are you sure? And I wasn't for a long time. He worked his magic and I thought that maybe I had made the worst mistake of my life. But he kept asking and I kept listening to my gut. I tried saying no. Let's call this all off and work on us. But that didn't feel good. I felt heavy. Like it was putting back on this huge burden that I had just started to get out of. Then I tried saying maybe. I was being honest. I was confused, and I told him that. I said I needed time, I needed space, but that felt restrictive. It felt like my body was being compressed. And one morning I realized I hadn't tried saying yes yet. I hadn't tried telling him that yes, I wanted this to be over. So I tried it. I said, yes, let's end this. And it felt like all of the weight was lifted off of me. It felt like I could fill my lungs fully again. It felt like the sort of warmth in your chest that you get when your mom gives you a hug. So it stuck. I'm learning to listen to myself again and to trust my instincts. I'm not judging myself for the path to get here. I'm treating myself with all the compassion and kindness I deserved for all those years. I'm on my own path now, and it feels so amazing to be here. So thank you all for everything. Thank you for your concern and outreach. I'm happier and healthier than I have been in a very long time. I'm actually a little shocked that there wasn't a, yeah, he tried to fucking pull some shit based off of his literal death threat. But hey, you know what? Good for her, bro. Good for her that he went down easy because holy shit was that scary. I like that though, bro. I think, don't get me wrong, your gut can be led astray, but after your gut is rearranged. Wait, hold on. Shit. It's not what I... Fuck. that was... You guys know what I meant. That's not what I didn't... Once your gut is put on the correct course again, not rearranged. So crazy how serious this story is, and I just derailed that. Once your gut gets put on the right path, I feel like trusting it 100% the move. God damn it, guys, don't clip that. Don't leave that. Chicken Sandwich donated $20 and said, you heard it here. Sarby likes to rearrange guts. I mean, Chicken, just ask your mom. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that to you after you donated $20 to me. Only once your gut is rearranged can you make rational decisions. You're right, Harmony. After getting a good gut rearranging, then you can make all the sound decisions. Post gut clarity goes crazy, MBM. That's so funny. Oh my God.